Good morning, eighth grade. So today we're going to wrap up our unit on finance and we're going to dive into an activity about income statements. Now, you know I like to start off every week with a quote. This week's quote: multiple streams of income is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. Think of some ways that you can pivot. Does anyone want to share how they've pivoted? All right. Thanks for sharing, everyone. Now we're going to wrap up our unit on financial statements and analysis. Let's set the tone for today and take a look at our entrepreneurial mindset focus, which is flexibility and adaptability. This is something that we are all too familiar with, especially with this new distance learning. Thank you all for everything. But when you're flexible and adaptive, guess what? You anticipate and plan for obstacles and you modify and have a positive attitude. Thanks for having a positive attitude. Let's see how that looks today. While keeping in mind being flexible and adaptive, we want to set the goal for today, which is to investigate how revenue, sales projections, and expenses all impact profit. Ultimately, how are revenue, sales projections, expenses, and profit all related? These are the things that we're going to cover throughout today's investigation. Before we begin the investigation, let's do our entrepreneurial mindset warm up. Here it is. Imagine that you are going grocery shopping for 7 items that you need, and you only have $20. The total comes to $22.79. How would you respond to this scenario? Think about it. Think about being flexible and adaptive. Be prepared to share your thoughts with us. Thanks so much for sharing, everyone. All right, now let's get into the income statement card game. So, this was originally supposed to be a group game, but being that we're doing distance learning, I left it for an individual challenge. All right. So, here's what you are going to do. You each will be given an income cards game handout. Okay, you're going to be given 15 minutes to go through the handout and complete it with the information provided. All right. The person that finishes the handout accurately first wins. Okay, let me explain what's on the handout just so you have a little bit of an idea. All right, so here is an example of what's on the handout. These are sample income statement cards. So there's 4 different types of cards. There's a sales card, variable expenses card, fixed expenses card, and initial investment card. So you're going to take all these factors into consideration when you fill out the income statement. Now, you are very familiar with filling out income statements, so this shouldn't be a problem for you. There's just some things that you guys have to pay close attention to. So for example, if it says like the yearly sales figures are $6 per unit and the number of units sold was 8,000, how much did they make for that whole year? So you have to do some math behind that too. Okay, just to give you a heads up. And remember, the winner is the person who does it accurately. Okay. So what we're going to do when this recording finishes, we're going to go back to our live session and we're going to give you all some time to do this for that 15 minutes. Then we'll come back live and we'll share out. Okay. Those who are doing this as a recording, you make sure you just turn this in by the deadline. All right. Okay, so this concludes the presentation session of our class right now. So we're going to go back to Google Hangouts and pick up and do this for the 15 minutes and then come back and reconvene. Now, if you are listening to this as a recording, make sure you turn this in by the deadline. All right, thanks, guys.